We're Charlie and Leanne, a couple from California who left our cushy suburban life to spend the next several years cruising around the Pacific Ocean on our boat, Juliet. And our little dog, too. In our last episode, we faced the greatest challenges of our cruising life so far when our engine failed at sea right in front of a busy shipping port. But we survived and made it to the lovely Las Hadas Resort, where we patched up the engine and set sail for our next destination, Ensenada Carrizal. We left on a bright, sunny afternoon in light winds, motoring the short distance to Carrizal.
We're underway. We just left the Las Hadas anchorage in Manzanillo Bay, and we're headed over to just 6 miles up the coast to Ensenada Carrizal, which is a beautiful small anchorage with reefs and clear water. Nice little beach, we think. So we're looking forward to spending a couple of days there before heading further north.
As we left the bustling Manzanillo area, it was nice to see some natural beauty again. This is such a lush tropical area, with steep craggy cliffs and tall rock formations. There's always something spectacular to look at as we cruise this coastline.
This is the first time we've run the engine under load since we had the oil cooler issue. We didn't want to go too far, just wanted to go for about an hour, so that's why we're going to this short anchorage. And once we get in the anchorage, we'll check all the systems, make sure everything looks good. Right now we got great oil pressure, the engine temperature is perfectly normal, the engine sounds good, it's running fine, nice and smooth, so I think we're in good shape. But before we go too far offshore, we just want to make sure everything looked good after running it for a short while.
We made it to Ensenada Carrizal. We had no problems with the engine. Everything seems to have worked. There's 3 other boats here, so there was plenty of room for us. And I am now having my safe passage beer. Oh, and I had a shower too. Life is good. Ensenada Carrizal is a rare treat along the busy and crowded west coast of mainland Mexico. Although it's only a few miles from some of the busiest ports in Mexico, this is an isolated anchorage hidden from any signs of civilization. There are no roads here, so no cliffside mansions, no resorts, no mariachi bands on the beach. The undisturbed remoteness means that cruisers who drop anchor here are treated to some actual peace and quiet. At the head of the cove is a small gravel beach, which is a nice place to land the dinghy and stretch our legs. It's a small cove, but well protected on nearly all sides, with enough room for several boats to anchor. 2 of the 3 cruising boats that were here when we arrived left, so it was just us and 1 other sailboat. Along the western wall, and extending well out into the cove, there's a large expanse of healthy corals, providing homes to enormous schools of brightly colored reef fish, offering the best snorkeling we've seen yet on the entire Mexican mainland. After all the crowds, activities, noise, drama, and general hubbub of all the places along the Gold Coast we've been to this season, I gotta admit the quietude was refreshing and relaxing. But that's enough relaxing. Time to hit the water. We launched the dinghy and headed over to that western wall to see what kind of fish life we could find. Bubba likes to come along with us when we snorkel, but he gets hot sitting in the dinghy, so Charlie created a little tent for him. He was quite cozy under there. Time to move on. As much as we love this little break in the usual hullabaloo of the Pacific Mexican mainland, we were eager to get to Barra de Navidad, where we had important replacement parts waiting for us, like a brand new oil cooler. Apparently, we swung quite a bit while at this anchorage because our anchor chain was all over the place. Charlie finally got the anchor up, and off we went for the 20-mile trip to Barra. It was hard to say goodbye to this place, but the good news is that we still have several weeks allotted in our schedule for this area, so we fully intend to come back and enjoy it again. Along the way, we passed by Piedra Blanca, a large and very white rocky islet lying about a mile off the coast. It stands 260 feet tall and is impossible to miss, being completely covered in guano. You gotta think, how many millions of tons of bird poop and how many years of birds pooping on that rock made it that beautiful white color.
We left Ensenada Carrizal about 2 hours ago, and we're motoring up the coast to Barra de Navidad. We're just motoring nice and easy at about 2,400 RPM, just keeping an eye on the engine, making sure the oil pressure's good, the temperature's good, and they both are. We're going a little slow, about 5 knots, because we have a bit of a current, but that's okay. It's only 20 miles from Ensenada Carrizal to Barra, so we'll be there around lunchtime. And it's a beautiful day, nice and calm. No breeze, so we can't really sail, but that's okay. We'll exercise the motor and give it a chance to check it out. We also are keeping our eye out for long lines. On the way down, we encountered quite a few long lines here, so we're looking for the telltale sign, which is little soda bottles bobbing in the water. These long lines can be a couple of miles long, so we try and avoid them.
Long lines are a common method of fishing in Mexico, which can be a real navigation hazard for cruisers. Pangas will stretch out very long lines, sometimes more than a mile long, with baited hooks hanging from them. They are not a very humane or environmentally friendly method of fishing, as the caught fish will hang on the lines for many hours or even overnight, dying a long, slow death. These lines also will catch other critters that are unwanted, such as sharks, endangered turtles, or even seabirds. They are also very hard to spot, often marked only by a soda bottle floating in the water. Fortunately, Juliet has a long, full keel with very little space in between the keel and the prop, which means we can usually just blow over them without getting caught. But many other boats with shorter keels get caught, which can mean a fouled prop requiring a dangerous mid-ocean dive to free it up. We're lucky that hasn't happened to us yet. For the record, I do fish, but I use the trolling method using hand lines. No hazard for other boats, and I quickly dispatch anything I catch. If I can catch anything.
So Leanne she's got her hand lines out, so maybe we'll catch some fish.
Well, we're almost in Barra, and I never did catch any fish. I'm starting to think I need to throw the bananas away. That's an old superstition among sailors, is if you have bananas on the boat, you won't catch fish. I have caught fish. I almost always have bananas on the boat, but the last few times I've dragged lines and nothing, so I'm a little frustrated. Well, no fish on this passage, but that's okay. We have so much to look forward to. Next stop, Barra de Navidad, where we get to enjoy the luxuries of marina life, along with the gorgeous resort and its many amenities, including my favorite part, their many interconnected pools. We also have important reunions to look forward to, with dear friends of ours from home who are now cruising on their own boats. Being so far from home, it's so wonderful to reconnect with people we've known for years. And there will be buddy boating in our future. Be sure to come back next time as our adventures continue. If you enjoyed our video, please be sure to click like and to subscribe.